Hello everyone, my name is Carol and welcome to Winter Haven Wisdom. I am here with you today on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2024. And my day here in New England started with beautiful sunshine and now it is gone for this angel reading. The clouds have taken over, the blue sky is just about diminished. Hopefully it's a temporary situation, but we did have 3 days in a row start with sunshine. And we have a snowstorm coming in for the weekend. It'll be the first of our season here, so. Oh, the fun, right? All right, so we're here to do our angel reading. And right now out in the atmosphere, we have Mercury direct in Sagittarius, where it's a little agitated. We're coming into the energies of the new moon in Capricorn. We also have Pluto changing signs around the 20th of January, and it'll be going from Capricorn into Aquarius, which is going to be a big change. And Pluto kind of rules a generation, like, because the energy stays around for so long. It's either 15 or 20 years. I think it's 15 years. So that's a long time to be embedded in society, and it has the overarching numbers and energies, rather, not numbers. So it could start impacting us. I mean, it'll be a big change for some people come mid-month, these two big events with these two full moons. And this energy, of course, Capricorn is grounded rules and the way you do things. It's around money and work and all that kinds of things. And then there's Aquarius, which is free, and it's about we the people and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a real change for society as a whole. So I'm changing up the angel reading today. I just have that feeling. I'm going to start with this newer deck I have, the Sacred She Tarot. I kind of like the energies that were in here. We've only used it once or twice, and it is a new deck to me, and I will have to refer to the book. But I want to, sometimes these readings have just gotten so big and so large. I don't want to be missing important information, so I want to try and narrow our field here and just focus on one or two of the energies, if that makes any sense to you all. Because I want to be able to help people in the best way, and if we're too scattered or spread out, I'm not going to be able to dive into one area. Okay, and this is a tarot deck, not an oracle card deck, so it might line up a little bit different for us. And now, because the sunshine is gone, glasses. So in the bottom of the deck, we have an energy, and this is an 11 card, and this is about balancing. And this is a spirit card, purple. And you can see there's the yin and yang there. There's the sun and the moon, masculine and feminine, the rainbow. Okay, so energies are coming into balance. This collective, we're trying to come into balance in a situation in our lives, okay? Set that aside. Let's see what else we got here. My book out in case I need it. Drinking some coffee this morning. Hashtag love to everyone. Love and light. My coffee is cold now. So I'm just kind of going to group the energies together by spiritual, water, fire, color? I think air is gray. Okay, so we'll keep going through the spiritual energies. We have compassion. And if you look at this card, there's a little girl hugging an alligator. Now that takes some great courage, right? And maybe you have compassion for some sort of a beast in your life. Something that you're being compassionate about, a difficult energy, a difficult situation. And you will need compassion in life. Compassion is really an important energy. So, and this is an 8 energy. And then we have solitude. You may be spending a lot of time right now alone, meditating, and you can see this person almost dressed up like a Buddha or a priestess of some kind, priest, kind of meditating out in the forest and getting connected to the energies, getting some downloads, maybe looking for that balance they need in their life. And this is a 4 energy. No, 9. Sorry, 9. And then we have this 16 energy, 10, 5, 16. And this is a crisis. So somebody's feeling like they're in a crisis right now. This might be like a tower coming in. So let's look at this energy. What is a crisis energy here? Personal crisis can be just as earth-shaking as natural disasters, forcing us to face uninvited, sweeping change. It is wrenching when dreams are shattered and relationships that once meant everything are gone. Losing what you have counted on to support or inspire your life impels you to reevaluate everything. Yet calamities can inspire and empower positive change. We grow wise not from being comfortable, but from being nudged, shaken, and jolted awake to see that life can sometimes be most supportive when it utterly wrecks our dreams. Crisis humbles us by bringing us to our knees, yielding to forces we suddenly realize have never really been in our hands. We are all players in the unpredictable narrative of existence. After the storm clears and tears have dried, you will value each day more than you ever thought possible. Then what was feared is understood as a shock that shattered illusions, awakening you to a new reality. Becoming aware of our impulsive reactions makes space for acceptance of what is. In this way, the belief that balance depends upon the rightness of the external disappears in the height of self-awareness. So, I get the somebody within our group, somebody here that needs to hear this message is going through some type of a crisis now. This would be like a tower energy, right? That comes in and just shakes us awake. We've all been through one, losing a job, walking away from a job that you hated, but it sends you into something, right? I did that. And, the end of a relationship, the loss of a loved one. It can go on and on and on and on and on. So many different things for so many different people. An accident of some kind, an illness. And so somebody might be in a fresh that fresh kind of energy right now. And maybe you're going to have to bring an energy of understanding to that. Be compassionate and understanding. And maybe that's one of your qualities in life, that you have this ability to understand other people's situations. And what a gift that is, that kind of empathy. Okay, then we have this fire energy coming in. So, integrity. This is about the kind of person that you want to be, being a person of your word, being honest and forthright, dependable and reliable, doing things the right way just because, right? Like doing the right thing even when no one's watching. That's kind of integrity. Being honest with yourself, being strong and courageous. You see the lion here? And this is fire energy. Then we have spontaneity. And with spontaneity, right, that's kind of it's kind of a fine line too, right? We need to be willing to be spontaneous, and not be so controlled. Just go with a whim sometimes or whatever. But it also needs to be a little more calculated, right? Like we can't take, be careful on what you're spontaneous about and what you can get yourself into if you haven't given a lot of clear thought. So there's a time to be spontaneous and a time when you need to concentrate a little, I think. It's a balance. You know, has your spontaneity caused you a problem in the past when you were too quick to react to a situation, too quick to judge? That kind of spontaneous reaction can be self-sabotaging. Taking a leap of faith of some kind towards your dreams is a different kind of spontaneous, right? Especially when a spontaneous action can really bring harm to somebody else in some way. Then we have this energy of resistance. And this is an energy of somebody that is, guarded up. Maybe they've been through a crisis and they've been hurt one too many times, and they just don't want to open themselves up again to love or opportunities of any kind, maybe even friendship. Maybe they are just so closed off or boundaried up that nobody can get into them. And sometimes you don't even know how boundaried somebody is, right? They can have their heart so closed off and have such a wall around it. Even though you're in a relationship with them, you never get to see their true heart because it's locked away in a stone fortress. And then we have self-confidence. And this is an 8 energy. And, honestly, self-confidence is something I've had to work on in my life in different times. I've had, I would let things that happened in my life shake my self-confidence. And as I've gotten older or been through more situations, I've learned that most of the time, sorry, I have a longer sweater on, and I was sitting on it and I felt like I couldn't move, sorry. Your self-confidence can get shaped, right? And how you say you were in a relationship and it it ended. Somebody walked away from you or something like that. You know, you can let it affect your self-worth and who you are and things like that. And I've learned in life that if someone wants to walk away from me or an energy is leaving me, that it's really not meant for me. And if you want to go, go. Like, go ahead, leave. Right? And there's such power in that. And it's easy to say now, right? But in the moment of it, you know, when I had to learn that lesson and work through it, it was hard. And sometimes, you know, different times in life, sometimes you feel more self-confident than others. And it's about knowing your worth and who you are. And self-confidence also has its own fine line, right? There's a difference between being self-confident and being too far in your ego, right? You know, with any of these energies, we have to balance them in us. The right amount of self-confidence without being egotistical. And, you know, that's a hard concept for some people too. Some people are way too far in their ego to protect themselves from feeling. Then we have this air energy and perfection. And this is, you know, somebody who wants perfection in their lives, that strives to be perfect. And as a recovering perfectionologist, right, like this has been a problem for me in the past, that I would let my need for things to be so perfect that it would limit me in huge ways. And, you know, I've talked about how I still struggle with now, how I want, you know, it's perfectionism, but it's also an energy of control, right? And that's when you kind of realize that you're trying to control things by your perfection, your need to have everything go your way or whatever. So this is an energy I still have to work with all the time. I have to, every now and then, I have to catch myself and say, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off, knock it off. And somebody else may have a same kind of issue around perfection. And not be able to, then they don't have the self-awareness of it yet, like I do, to catch yourself when you're, you know, and only because it's the recent time, you know, the mashed potatoes in the pot versus a fancy bowl. You know, it's very superficial, right? But it's the same kind of thing. I was concerned about what people would think and how it looked if it wasn't in a pretty festive bowl. Nobody cared. Like I said, the mashed potatoes were the first thing gone. So somebody could be struggling with that energy right now, wishing they made different decisions, wishing they handled things in a more perfect way. And it's good to want things, it's good to have an energy of excellence in your life, but not to the point that it controls you and puts you down in some way, holds you down, limits your ability to succeed in life. And then we have this energy of fear, and this is a 9 energy. And fear is crazy, the things we get afraid of, right? Crazy, crazy, crazy. Like, I talk about this. I started this channel on March 6th of 2023, and I didn't make a video until October 6th of 2023. Yet I was posting things right away on the channel and, you know, putting out words of advice and things like that. But it wasn't until I just finally said, I'm going to do this. What do I have to lose? and got past that fear of being exposed, of being vulnerable, of being seen. You get over it. And my goal is to be seen by the people who need to hear my messages and maybe learn from my circumstances of what I've gone through. And I know how fear can just hold us back in such heartbreaking ways. Get past fear. And often fear is around loving. And isn't that kind of crazy? Like we are innately born to love. The capacity to love and give and be reciprocal. And some people are so afraid of love. Just because you've hurt once doesn't mean you're going to be hurt again. Just because you've been victimized in some way doesn't mean that you're going to be victimized again. Even if you, like some people, like say you were married to a narcissist and you get divorced and then you get into the next relationship and maybe you end up with a narcissist again, right? You probably don't stay in that relationship as long as you did the first one because you learned something in that relationship and now you learn something in that. So even in the next relationship, if you run into a narcissist, you're going to pick up on it even quicker and you may not even invest in it. You have to trust yourself and your ability to know what's right for you and not what's right for you. And no matter what you choose, there's always a risk there that it's not going to work out. And but don't stop yourself from having love in your life because you're afraid that the same thing might happen again. Because if you put all that energy into that, that is what will happen, right? You will almost manifest it in a way because you're so focused on it. So open your heart, let go of the fear, and the only thing that can heal fear is love. And if you don't let love in, you're always going to be in fear, I think. I feel that way. Then we have 4, and this is frozen, and this is a water energy. And it's like someone is so cold, so frozen, so out in the cold. They are so cold in their nature, abandoned. They have this cold energy about them. I want to peek at this energy too. Let's make sure I'm getting the right message on that. Okay. Worrying about the future freezes the life of our life. A kind of mental paralysis sets in where you only see worst case scenarios. And who in their right mind wants to remain stuck in that? You have to make mistakes to find out who you aren't. You take the action and the insight follows. You don't think your way into becoming yourself. It's funny that that card was there with that meaning, and I was kind of just talking about that, right? Oh, the synchronicities in life sometimes. Yeah, so the fear can be paralyzing. It can hold you back in time. And no matter what you've been through in the past, it can still come back to, your thoughts will dictate the action. Action is the only thing that changes it. That's exactly what it just said, right? Okay. And then we have choices. And this is like the Seven of Cups, right? Maybe someone is really overwhelmed right now with the choices around them. And this came out in the morning reading, and a card came out saying focus. And right now, Spirit is saying to us all, you know, and look at the hats that are here. The Joker, the Viking, a chef, a cowboy, a cartoon character, a king, an angel. So somebody is like, what do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And there's endless opportunities. And Spirit, in that message, the closing energy was, just pick one and focus on it. And instead of thinking about it, pick one, do it. If it doesn't work, you'll know it's not the right one and go on to the next one. And there's never time wasted in that. Okay, so like usually, you know, because I'm the one doing the readings, right, I can feel the connections in the readings, and this is a big one, that someone is in such fear, and maybe the fear is around not being perfect in a situation. They're paralyzed. They're paralyzed in fear. They're paralyzed to make a choice. And this is a water energy, our emotions. So we have water, air, fire, and spirit energies here so far. Okay, so now we know this. I'm not going to pull out the soul's journey today because we have this kind of energy building here. And I am going to move these around a little and get the numbers together. So when we look back on this, we have a 9 energy, we have an 8 energy, a 4, a 7, a 5, 4. See, when I do it this way, you see different things, right? Wow, is this something? Okay. So now when we take, and instead of lining them up by their grouping, right, their energies, that fire, water, air, spirit energies, when we put them into numerology and we look at all the 4 energies, we have someone frozen from making a spontaneous move in their life around their lack of perfection, and they're in a solitude, maybe like a hermit kind of energy now, trying to get some enlightenment to get out of this paralysis. They're the ones that want to have a spontaneous move, and they're worried about perfection, being perfect in it. And then we have 4 that 5, integrity might be coming into question here. A change around your integrity, because that's a 5. The balancing is a 6. The 7. So some type of crisis has happened, and now a person has opportunities. And they're having a hard time focusing in and making a choice. And they're in some fear and resistance. They're afraid, so they're resisting. And then the self-confidence, understanding, and compassion is somebody else's energy here. Okay. I think I'm going to do Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, and I found the book. It was in another pile. Okay, Spirit. How can we support the energies going on here today? What other messages can we bring to this? Okay, bottom of the deck is Lady of Lightning. Surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. The Lady of Lightning. So we might look that energy up, but let's run through these. The resting tree, patience and stillness. And this is a 22, a master number, so we don't reverse it. And patience was the outcome of the morning reading, right? That you have to be patient and let the energies play out. And in the meantime, stay focused on yourself and what you have to do. If you're in any kind of a situationship like that morning reading is. And when you are patient and you get in that stillness, you often get epiphanies or insights of some kind, okay? So don't deny yourself that time. Then we have the prison waff, self-sabotage and poverty consciousness. And I know that was in the morning reading. And this is a 4 energy. So let's look at that. When the prison waff arrives in his realm as your allies, he comes to remind you of the law of paradoxical intent. Your own self-sabotaging thoughts and hidden beliefs are in fact preventing you from your highest good. You might believe that you're doing all you can to manifest your reality, but perhaps you're giving in to thoughts such as the following. I can't do this. I'm unworthy. I'll fail, so why try? I don't deserve this. I'm unlovable. Ah. In fact, you're locked in a prison of your own making, right? And that's this. That's this. This is a sign that you need to spend some time with yourself addressing those beliefs that counter your hard work to get ahead. You can change them if you want to. You don't want to stay in prison, do you? Take inventory of your thoughts, let yourself out of jail, and spend a few minutes outdoors in gratitude. It's time to let the sunshine in. And then the challenger here is, Are you a prisoner of worry, distrust, cynicism, and fear? Do you constantly tell yourself that there's not going to be enough, or do you see only lack and poverty wherever you look? Perhaps your expectations of negative results and repercussions serve to keep you imprisoned by your own thoughts. Do you feel that you're not allowed success in your life? When the prison wolf comes as your challenger, he warns you that you are now seeing in your life the results of those negative thoughts and expectations. If you don't like what you see, it's time to transform the way you see it. If you aren't happy with your life, change your thoughts. That alone has the power to change your life. Difficulties are learning curves right now. Just remember that this prison won't hold you for long. Take the time to learn about mistakes. The lessons ensure later and greater success. So, this is a more of an explanation of what somebody's going through in that fear, right? What's happening to them. So maybe whatever this crisis was, somebody's in fear over what to do about it, and maybe they're worried about their financial livelihood and how they're going to handle it in making this new choice. Then we have the hungry ghosts, obsessions, scarcity, consciousness, and attachment. And all right, so we're dealing with a big energy there with that, right? We've got 2 cards around that. Obsessions and scarcity consciousness. And I remember looking at this before, and this is that energy of spending too much time in the future and too much time in the past and not enough in the here and now. And what can you do now, today, to change your situation? Whether that be a lack of love, a lack of funds, a lack of stability in some way, a lack of happiness, a lack of joy, whatever it is, what can you do today that will change how you're thinking about that? And that's a 5 energy. The wise woman of Wonderland, integrity and compromise. And this is a 3 energy. And this is somebody who has integrity, right? And let's look it up. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen this before. The wise woman of Wonderland brings integrity to thought, word, and deed. She lets you know that as long as you're in the flow of honesty and being true to your word, she keeps you under protection and care. When she appears as your ally, she signals a time when honesty pays off, yielding greater divines than you expected. You'll be thankful that you remained faithful and loyal to your path. She reminds you that compromise isn't always an option. Stay true to yourself first and foremost. Although it may appear that you could lose something as a result, you can never lose what is truly yours. When the wise woman of Wonderland appears as a challenger, this is a sign that you may have compromised yourself out of fear. Have you been in denial about the truth of your situation? Have you sold yourself short rather than ask for what you really need? Have you given up your dream for another because you fear abandonment? The wise woman of Wonderland is gently reminding you that you count. Claim your good and never settle for less. Be fearless and make it so. Why hang around for more disappointment when wonderful adventure and opportunities are waiting to unfold for you? Okay, so, this is indicating that somebody has had integrity. They've stayed loyal to their path. They're being honest and all of those things on their path. And be careful of the energy when compromise, because you could be self-sabotaging yourself when you compromise in a way that isn't good for you. And I have probably done that in my past to be the better person in a relationship and all of that kind of thing. Be the better person at work. All those kinds of things. We have to be careful of how we compromise and when we do. So long as we're not self-sacrificing and sabotaging ourselves, right? This is a 3. 3. Okay. And then I wanted to look at this, the Lady of Lightning, 35. I want to just keep an eye on time, how we're doing here. As an ally, the Lady of Lightning brings powerful forces of change into your life. She tells you to expect a sudden shift in your circumstances. Perhaps a situation you weren't anticipating arises and offers you the opportunity of a lifetime, or a series of aha moments culminates in a pivotal flash of insight, causing everything to change just like that. Maybe someone enters your life and pushes you to new heights. You may have a brilliant idea that hits you like lightning. Be prepared, change is imminent, and a total paradigm shift may be upon you. Don't resist the changes, as this kind of lightning isn't something you want to fight. Great things are happening when the Lady of Lightning appears. Okay, and this is in an upright position. This is in an upright position, so I don't think that we're going to have a bad news, but we have crisis here. So let's do the challenger. Unpleasant news, an unexpected shock, or an overall sense of powerlessness are aspects you may experience when the Lady of Lightning appears as your challenger. This is a time when you might be forced to make a change you don't want to make. A situation may suddenly turn in a different direction than you hoped it would. This is a sign of difficulty and unwanted surprises, but consider the idea of a thunderstorm and how beautiful and charged with electricity the world is after it passes. It will always pass because this is the nature of the storm. Your difficulties will too, as this is the way of things as well. In the realm of the Lady of Lightning, it's prudent to engage the law of non-resistance. Relax and wait out the storm in the shelter of your faith and goodwill, trusting that all will be well even if it doesn't seem like it in the moment. Wonderful new life has an opportunity to grow when the storm passes. The Lady of Lightning would much prefer to be your ally anyways. Okay, so because this came out in the upright way, I think somebody has already had their crisis. They're trying to make their choice. And you know, what this card is saying is that you're going to get something is going to happen here that will allow you to make the choice you need to make, whether that's an epiphany, aha moment, somebody comes in, offers you something, gives you clarity, right? To change something in your life, to change a situation that has you feeling like you're in a crisis right now, rather than resisting it and being in a fearful state of lack mentality or something like that in your life, feeling so left out cold and frozen in time, just unable to make a decision about what you need to do. Wow. So, you know, thinking about it, it's tough, right? When you have one of these earth-shattering things happen in your life, when you have a tower moment. We've all had them, we've all gone through them. And what I want to say to you, and if you can think of it this way, is that while it's hard to go through, you 100% of the time have survived tower moments in your life. You get through them, and on the other side of it, you are better off. The sun comes out and things get better, easier, brighter for you. So whoever you are here, it looks like you're trying to find some balance. Okay? Drop your resistance a little. Drop your fears. Throw them up to Spirit. What should we pull next? We're almost, I want to wrap it up pretty soon, actually. I want to try and keep these a little a little shorter. So let's do that. We'll wrap it up now, and then we will pull some other energies. So we have this 3 energy of integrity and compromise, right? Stay committed to whatever. If you love the path you're on, stay committed to that, stay loyal to that, continue to take action on that. The angels are supporting you, the hidden realms, right? They're supporting you on that path. If you have to compromise your integrity in any way, be careful that you're not self-sabotaging yourself, okay? Or setting yourself up for a downfall because you're caring about other people more than you're caring yourself, okay? This can happen in work, in relationships. We have this energy of 4, and this is someone who is paralyzed, right? They're in this cold energy, trying to figure things out in their life. This energy of spontaneity can kind of set them free. They can break free from this. But they're focused on perfectionism, being perfect at everything they do and say and all of that. And Spirit is saying, get quiet, give yourself some clarity here, meditate, journal, whatever it is for you. And then that self-sabotage and poverty mindset that came out in 2 different ways in this reading. So be mindful of that, right? If you have a lack mentality, no matter what it's around, you're unable to manifest. You can't manifest from a place of lack. You can't. Okay, and then we have the 5 energy. This is change, and this could be change around someone's integrity, and somebody being, you've got to stay more in the present. You can't be in the future. You can't be in the past. Nothing lives there. Nothing is built in the future. Everything is dead in the past. You can only come out of these energies in the present moment. And then we have the energy of, and this is a 6, of things balancing out, right? Balance coming out. This is like the 6 of Pentacles here. Kind of coming into, although it's Roman numerals, so this is a spiritual number. But it's on there. It's about things getting balanced, even, fair, reciprocal in your life. We have the 7 energy with a crisis happened. Somebody's recovering from a crisis, and they have all these opportunities and choices to make in their life. And you have an ally that's going to either bring in an aha moment, an epiphany, a sudden occurrence, a sudden circumstance that's going to give you some clarity in what direction to take or shift. It's going to be a whole paradigm shift for you. It's a huge transformation that could be coming in for you. And then, this fear and this resistance to move on in life, to let love in, to let light in, to let happiness in. Resistive to change and new opportunities. Don't be resistive. Kind of drop your guard a little here. And that was a message that came out in the morning meeting too, for the Divine Feminine, to really kind of look at your boundaries and how guarded up are you? What kind of wall do you have around your heart? And that's for the Divine Masculine too. And then we had this energy of, did I already do this? Of self-confidence. This is, what number is this? Oh, 8, I'm sorry. About having self-confidence is the key. Self-confidence is a key in your success. Feeling confident in what you're doing and the decisions you make is what's going to bring you success. And you have a very understanding energy, understanding situations, understanding yourself and how you got where you are and what's going on, the reality of a situation. And you have great compassion and for people and situations and beasts in your life. Excuse me. And we have the last energy about excuse me. A real tickle in my throat today. Patience and stillness. Okay, be patient with the energies. Try to get still for that enlightenment. Excuse me, you all. So we're going to use the map energies. Spirit guides, what can you show us here that can really pull this reading together here? What energies here? The choices, the fair, the resisting, the integrity, the balancing, the perfection, spontaneity. Okay, bottom of the deck is deep freeze. So somebody's in a deep freeze, frozen right now. Frozen in time, paralyzed in fear. That's too bad. Okay, we have Magic Stream. And I remember reading this card the other day, and this is an energy of being aligned with what you're doing, being focused on it, being dedicated to it. There's going to be this magic stream of abundance that'll be flowing in for you. You just got to stay with it. Stay focused. Keep going with it. Then we have the energy of movement. This is about getting moving in your life, moving forward. It's about growth coming in, that a change is happening in your situation. There's movement in it, change is coming in. We've known that for a while, right? And we have this hot balloon up there that there's something is moving. The ostrich is fast and moving along. So movement, faster energies. And then we have the energy of education. And I want to peek at this because I haven't seen this card before. I'll just take a quick little peek at it. Okay, this is about being open to, this is about being teachable in your life, learning lessons from the situation in your life, not being stubborn and afraid to learn the lesson, being open to change in your life and learning and growing. And you can see the spiritual connotation there, right? The spiritual energy that comes in and supports you in those situations. So, and we have slow and steady. And this is, you know, the tortoise and the hare, right? The tortoise ends up winning because it was just slow and steady and focused on the intent to win the race. He didn't get distracted by things along the way. And that's what you are here. You're at a sales pace, and that's okay. Slow and steady, committed. Slow and steady growth, right? Any growth is growth. The smallest petal on a tree or a bush in spring leads to a full bush in time, right? Think of it like that. Like trees start out maybe in April or May around here. They start sprouting, but they really don't get full, you know, until sometime in June. You know, generally around here around Memorial Day, right? Late May. So it takes months and months for growth to happen out in the world. And we are just a part of that world. And growth happens that way for us too. One petal at a time, one step at a time. Even at a snail's pace, growth is still happening for you. Okay? So as always, I'm feeling two different energies here. I'm feeling an energy of someone who gets it, who has integrity, who's on their path, who's coming into this magic stream. They're learning the lessons. They're teachable. They're coming into some balance. Okay? Their self-confidence is the key to them. You have to stay self-confident in whatever you're doing, right? And then we have somebody else paralyzed in fear. Their fear is limiting them from getting anywhere else in life, to achieving more. It's holding them back and holding them down. And hopefully this emergency that comes in, this crisis, is going to help somebody get out of that paralyzed energy that they're in. Okay, that's the reading for today. A little bit of a change up, a little more focused on a few energies than bringing in way too many. And maybe we'll just change it up each day and see what comes out. I mean, today I think we had a big message here, right? And we had it looking at signs, fire signs and water signs, the different elements that are affecting us in our life. And then when we break it out by the numbers, you know, if you want to look up number 4, number 8, number 7, number 9, you know, if you look up those energies, it might give you some more clues as to what's going on for you here. And 3 energy is lovely here. Okay, everyone, that's the reading I have for you today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hope you all have a lovely hump day here. It's Wednesday. Oh, getting closer to the weekend. If you're new here, we'd love to have you join our community. We're growing here, and we'd love to have you come on the ride with us. Just take a minute and subscribe, and I will see you back here for the next reading. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.